Well, welcome back to another stock market open live stream. Well. Today we have, there's a lot more talk about Germany potentially extending their economic disaster. I see a lot of talk about the spread between their bond yields inverting negative compared to bank derivatives in English. Could be a concern for, quite frankly, their economy just continuing to go into the pooper, which we've already in part seen with the autos industry and now extending under political problems as well. Then we've got a bit of a drop after hitting 90,000 on Bitcoin. A little bit of a topping here that we've been seeing. These are the last hour bars. So we really started seeing some of the largest drops here within the last maybe 4 or 5 hours here. It does potentially make us wonder, is this going to be the beginning of a profit-taking environment? We haven't actually seen profit-taking so far. So far, markets have been very euphoric. Some people would say irrationally exuberant, especially with how stretched certain valuations are. Whether you're looking at even great companies, great companies like Tesla and Palantir, they're wonderful. I love them, and I'm a big supporter of them. But the valuations are nosebleed right now, which does make entering some of these positions much less desirable. And so it'll be interesting to see if we get any kind of movement here on Coinbase around that 320 level that we just lost. How coin or Bitcoin will move, MicroStrategy, and then MicroStrategy 2x leverage. Still seeing that bleed on Enphase continue. One of the things that's been stopping me from wanting to buy the dip on Enphase is I think once you get profit taking at Bitcoin, Tesla, Palantir, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, you'll see a market that turns down. And Enphase isn't, in my opinion, going to go up while the entire market is turning down. Like at some point, stocks are going to see a normal give back, and this is very much expected. And during that normal give back, you probably get even more opportunities on something like an Enphase. It's an idea. So let's see what else you got here. Yeah. Okay. You got Apple up about 10 basis points. And I have been noticing NVIDIA trying to sneak up today. It's slowly on its way up to about that 164 line. I'm not sure if we're going to make it there, but we'll see. Also, today we're not going to have any text messages from the Alpha report. And we're going to extend this, free to November 13th. We're going to extend that. So if you haven't signed up for it yet, you're welcome to sign up for it. Yesterday, we called the run up on GME before it happened with the low volatility alert. So go check out what today's report has by signing up for it. If you do sign up for it, I don't know if you'll still be eligible for getting today's report, but you could just go to ehack.com and then you'll be able to read today's alpha report. I linked it at the top here. And we are going to a different text message provider within the next 24 hours. So we're going to move everybody over to a different platform where the text should actually send. We've talked to MailChimp support many, many different times, and quite frankly, they're like, oh, there's a bug, there's a problem, we're trying to fix it, whatever. We're tired of them, so we're going to get rid of them, and we're going to go over to this platform called Community. They should be pretty good. We used to use them quite a bit, and they were always fantastic. You could even text back and forth on it. Not that that's what the purpose is of it, but there's some cool functions with that. So anyway, a quick little update there on the alpha report for that. Okay, so let's see here. Somebody here says Rocket earnings after the bell. Looks like it could fly on a beat. Hopefully, but the thing is, you're not in a place where you're actually seeing lower yields for October so far in November. You're seeing higher yields, which could hurt their forecast substantially. Like I would guess Q3 could easily beat, but Q4 forecast, maybe they just shouldn't say anything. We are withdrawing guidance, but the good news is Q3 was great. It's actually partly kind of like what Home Depot announced. Home Depot this morning, they're like, oh, yeah, we beat Q3 earnings. Yay, we're amazing. And they're like, okay, how's Q4? Don't talk to us about Q4, please. They're not super happy about what they're seeing going into the fourth quarter. So the guide was weak. on at least in their commentary. And yes, some of their numbers on EPS and otherwise forecast moved up, but that was in part due to an acquisition, not because of actually like a better company in terms of sales, right? So Kevin, you might be shadow banned. Your live used to show up first on my homepage every day, and I have to search for it. Rip. Yeah, whoever's asking, yeah, go to ehack. Exactly. ehack.com. You could get today's alpha. I'm not going to put it there all the time. I'm just doing it now as we're trying to get it set up. But yeah, whoever says check out, I didn't receive today's report. Go to the top of ehack.com. It's there. And then when we get to a new text provider, I think it'll work a lot better. So I'm excited about that. Good news though for Shopify. Shopify's up about 19%, which let's take a look here on the day chart. They've already been moving up. So the fact that we're going to 107 breaks this 99 line and potentially pushes you to 107 or 117 rather. Let's find out what happened here with some of the numbers. Oh, well, thank you for that. CPAC, you rock. Your info has helped me so much in my life. Thanks, man. My wife and I daydream where we could sit down and have dinner with you and Lauren. Oh, that's so nice of you. Oh, thanks for saying that. So let's go to Shop individual news here. Okay, so Shop comes in with a headline beat on Q3. Okay, I should write down some of this stuff too. Otherwise, I'm going to forget, and I don't want to forget, and I don't want to go through it again. So give it a second here. All right, let's see here. There we go. Okay. Shopify earnings. Okay, Q3 beat by 2.16 divided by 2.12, 1.9% at 2.16 bill. I always think the percent is more useful. Gross merchandise volume beat 69.72 divided by 67.78, 2.86% beat on gross merchandise volume. Q4 revenue growing at mid to high 20s. Wow, that's pretty good. Year over year. And that is Q4 revenue to grow. That's pretty good. Let's see. Now that's revenue. Now, how have they been growing and what's their valuation? Let's see here. So they've been growing at, I mean, that's what they've been growing at. So that's actually pretty normal. Let me see here. Q1, they grew at 23.4% year over year. Q2, they grew at 20.7% year over year. Q3, they grew at 26.1% year over year. And then Q4 current estimate is 22.8%. So mid to high 20s is a boost to guide. That's pretty good, actually. I'm curious to see what their commentary is. But that would be a boost. And therefore, let's see, what's their valuation these days? So they're trading for they've got about $1 of EPS. So now you're trading for 107 divided by $1.11. Trading for 96.3 times earnings. Trades for 96.4x earnings at 107. And then EPS growth going forward for the next 4 years is expected to be and I just double checked to make sure this was all in USD. It is. Sometimes you pull up a Canadian company, you get screwed. Everything's like 30% better than you expect. Divided by 4. What? Hold on a sec. 2381 is next year's expected growth. 3157, 2697, 8.73 divided by 4. 22.7% growth on EPS. EPS projection is 22.7x. So trades at a 96.4 divided by 22.77. 4.2 peg. Oh my gosh. The valuations are just so dumb right now. Stupid high. Stupid expensive. Palantir, Tesla are up there. But hey, you know what? Doesn't mean the rally can't go. Keep going. I just always like to note that where valuations are. And again, that's not to say like you have to be short-term bearish or whatever. It's just to say, hey, just be realistic with are you buying valuation or are you buying momentum? There we go. All right. So I also just updated the or changed the volume, like actual volume here a little bit. Let me know if it's too loud or just right or whatever. Okay. So with that, we've got the bell coming up. Let's go ahead and get Simba Sizzles up and let's see what they have to say. Let's get some coffee going too. We got 3 minutes to go to the bell. Who has somebody? Ape Rage Games says, who's buying valuation? LOL. Well, too loud. Okay, I'll lower it a little bit. There we go. It's not a surprise that when your name has ape in it, that you're questioning the value of valuation. Financials versus tech. It's not a bad idea. I'll take a note of that. Okay, let me see here. Financials over tech. Yeah, I'll pull that. I don't know if I have a convenient way to get that. Financial tech. Yeah, I'll play with that because I can grab some indices, on like the IT sector and then. So thank you for that. It's a good suggestion. Did you send the alpha report already? Yes. If you didn't get it, just go to ehack.com. We're fixing how it's going out, but the email already went out. Text did not. Go to the top of ehack.com just to get it now if you want it. Valuation matters. Where are the NFT people? In 2007, 2008, subprime mortgages were a swelling problem developing in the minds of a market. What is the problem to trigger a recession now? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be, one particular thing, but it could be as simple as AI valuations. That's how simple it could be. So it's not like you have to have a smoking gun. I mean, look at the .com bubble. Look at, just the recession of 91. Or, I mean, in the 80s, you had the Fed. Post-Korean War recession was interesting. Yeah, I don't know that you necessarily need like something like, a broken financial instrument to go into a recession. All right, let's queue up for the bell here. All right. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. They
come up with some things talking about X, other bets for Alphabet, X, the labs for Meta. You have two stocks that are selling at 18 times earnings. So it's time to buy both. Reiterate, buy, reload. I'm not going to disagree with them. I think they're really right.
All right. Let's get the opening bell here in the CNBC real-time exchange of the big board. It's Madison Square Garden and the UFC. Hall of Fame fighter Frankie Edgar's ringing the opening bell. At the NASDAQ, it is Cirrus Logic, a semiconductor company celebrating 35 years listed on the exchange.
It's been the last quarter. They're an Apple player. One of the things you mentioned about semiconductors, they're part of the problem, which is that there's handsets are not doing well.
All right.
PCs are not doing well, so it's hard for the semis to do well.
What did you make of some of the big tech weakness yesterday? Just to give back after a run?
I mean, once again, you've got that rotation where people say, all right, under
rotation
administration, these companies are not going to do well. What's going to do well are small and medium-sized.
Okay, Jimbo, in your rotation here. Let's see what we got here. So we got a red candle on Tesla. We've got, what else do we have here? We've got, Okay. We have bit to sizzle dropping a little bit here. You've got, let's see here. Okay. Okay, what about, let's see here, Shop's still running. That one's still functioning, so that one's working. And then you've got, let's see here. Yeah, Bitcoin dropping a little bit. Oh, yeah, look at that, right? Sort of at the opening there, eh? Okay. Yeah, dropping a little more. Then you've got the Qs. A little bit of a drop there, down about 10 basis points. That's not too terrible. Then you've got, let's see here, Coinbase down about 5%. Let's listen to Jimbo here for a moment. Let's see if they're saying, oh, they're focusing on Netflix. Interesting.
In a post made public, Netflix talking about, hey, it's been a couple of years, and we have now seen 50% of new Netflix signups are for the ad plan and ad supported in countries where they have it available. 70 million now monthly average users for that tier. You know, Jim, it kind of started slowly, but it clearly has picked up and obviously seen as an effective way by many advertisers.
Well, let's give them this. They had said, we will not do this until we really have it right. It started slowly because of them. They said, listen, we don't really have it. One of the most amazing things in a conference call is you hear them say, you know what, we haven't figured this out yet, but we want to do it right. Most companies just do it.
Yep.
So it turned out to be wise. The NFL games being sold out,
yes,
to me, is, again, maybe they should have charged twice as much.
Getting a little bit, going back to talking about the NFL. Getting, what do we got here? Trying to get a green candle there on the Qs. You've got, what else? You've got, yeah, okay. Trying to get a little bit of green there, which is good. Shop. You've got still about 21%, which honestly pretty good. Got to give it to them. And they did have good guide for Q4. Unlike Home Depot, who is a little bit more reserved on Q4 there. Actually, I should say a lot more reserved on Q4 there. They just didn't seem very happy at all about Q4. But a little bit of recovery there at the moment, at least on Tesla. You've you're getting a little bit of bobbing around over here. Shopify's coming down a little bit more heavily now. Then you've got, let's see here, Bitcoin trying to recover a bit, only down about 8 basis points now on the Qs. So it's almost like you opened up with some sell orders, and now some of that's recovering a little bit, which is good. Let's see here. Good for markets. I personally, I mean, like I've always said before, you don't want a recession. You really want to avoid that because it just makes everything super painful for everyone. And I think people forget how bad a recession actually is. But it's bad. So I'm not a big fan ever. I would never cheer for a recession. But let's see here. Okay, Shopify now recovering a little bit. Home Depot dropping. That doesn't surprise me just because they gave that sort of weaker guidance there. That was not so ideal on Q4. I think they got a little overly optimistic there with Q3, and so you're seeing a little bit of a turn down. Bit more of a recovery there on Bitcoin. Still pushing up. Let's see if we can get to 86. Oh, Qs have almost fully recovered. Almost fully recovered here. So pretty good. Let's see what else here. Tesla's trying to recover. You've got, let's see here, Coin also nice recovery here. Not bad. And then you've got, let's see, what else do we have here? Palantir. Yeah, Palantir somewhere around. What do we got? Yeah, you're trying to get back to 60 actually over here. Wow, what a reversal. Look at that. The Qs just went positive for a second. That's pretty impressive. That's wow. That's crazy. Look at that U-turn. So I almost wonder if you had like people who were off yesterday because it was Veterans Day and they're like, I got to get my sell order in. And the sell orders went in at open here as they went back to work. And then all of a sudden they're like, I'm at work, and they put their sell order in at open. The sell orders go through and then they're sort of like, all right, now we're done selling. And then everybody goes back to buying. There's a lot of enthusiasm. So then you've got, Qs. Now I'm going to give them the gain the lead. Pretty good. Gain the lead on the Qs. And then you have, let's see here. Tesla's recovering as well. Look at that. You've got you're down about 2% on Tesla right now. Let's see here. You did have some larger decline right at the open, but that's getting eradicated right now, as well as Bitcoin recovering. Q's up 10 basis points. Pretty good. Disney's positive. They got earnings coming up. Apple's declining. And let's see here. MicroStrategies just topped out a little bit right here. Somebody says SMCI. Let me see my Super Micro here. Super Micro in the chat. Yeah, Super Micro just popped up a little bit there since the opening bell. Q's holding on to about that 9 basis points there. Okay. Then you've got, let's see what else is moving here. Q's keep going. 10 bips there. Let's see here. IWM, wow, 241. Nice movement up here. You broke up from that 220 range almost in one day, basically just right after the election. You just sort of popped up. Pretty impressive. And yeah, Bitcoin's still pushing. So it looks like you had sort of a bearish kind of start to the day so far. And then things kind of went a little bear mode-y there. So I'll keep an eye on it. Do watch also, if you didn't get the alpha report or you're not signed up for it yet, make sure you go to meetkevin.com/alpha to sign up. If you want today's report, you can get it over at eHack, but we're going to stop posting it there. So make sure you're signed up over at meetkevin.com/alpha. We should be able to transition that to the text platform that actually works today. So stay tuned for that. Okay. So what else we got here? Let's see here. Any particular things the Sudis are talking about? Somebody's saying Enphase Dam, and then somebody else says Carvana. Let me see here. Enphase down another couple percent. Carvana's down about 54 basis points there. Okay. Gold, an unexpected Trump trade loser, has room to rebound. It's interesting. I've kind of been talking about my thoughts that gold was going to top out. A couple weeks ago, I was talking about it. Oil gains this session, masking growing weakness and demand woes. Oh, this is an interesting one. Let's write this down. Okay, oil woes. Okay, what do we got on oil woes? Let's see. Let's write this down. Okay, it says here, oil. Well, I'll do it this way. OPEC demand growth forecast for both this year and next year cut by about 20% since July. Yeah, that's actually really interesting because you have Jerome Powell who's like, oh, we might even see more growth than we expected next year. And then, you're seeing OPEC say basically the opposite of Jerome Powell. I'm going to write that down. I think it's interesting. Opposite of Jerome Powell, that we might actually surprise up with growth. I hate to say it, but I'll write it down too. I hate saying it, but I think he's trying to verbally prop up the economy and hiring. I don't buy it. That's, a little bearish. It's a POV. But, I mean, it makes sense. Like, we've said it before. If you're Jerome Powell, like, like if you say, oh, everything's about to hit the can, you're gonna like literally instantly create a recession. I mean, think about, or at least substantially slow demand, right? Like think about the position of Powell. Okay, let's write these things down. If you say things are about to be bad, stocks crash and earnings fall. That's exactly, this has historically happened and recently, that's exactly what happened in January to, maybe like September of 2022. So it literally just happened. Now so we got his crash. Reduction in demand, I should say. Okay. That's cool. He got his reduction in demand. Now he's trying to pump up job demand. And he's suggesting how great the economy is and is potentially going to be. I don't know if it'll work. Okay, somebody else wrote, oh, this is interesting. Here's a Doomberg title. Doomberg title. It's time to turn bearish on U.S. stocks. Okay, that's their title. That's not my title. Okay, enthusiasm for U.S. equities has intensified just as almost all positive drivers are beginning to turn negative. Interesting. Okay, so enthusiasm intensified substantially just as positive data is becoming negative. Okay. Confluence of warning signs from the most important part of the economy, the labor market. Oh, okay, yeah, well, we already know that. So they cite the labor market. They cite, what do we got here? Hurricane distortions permitted analysts to dismiss. Oh, interesting. Hurricane distortions enabled analysts to dismiss concerns. That's interesting. Revisions, though deeply negative. That's true. That is very true. Two lowest readings since 2020. Two lowest readings since 2020 have been in the last 3 months. Wow, that's crazy. I just want to watch here. What do we got with Bitcoin? Okay, Bitcoin's pretty stable right now. Oh, the Qs gave up their lead again. Look at that. Yeah, you had a little bit of enthusiasm, a boot of enthusiasm, but the boot of enthusiasm is chilled out a little bit. Okay. Overall, the revisions were deeply negative, meaning 2 is lowest in the last 3 months. Okay. Last 4 months have brought the lowest. Last 4 months have brought lowest 3 ISM employment reads in 4 years. Wow. Continuing job claims. Continuing jobless claims. Highest level in 3 years. Election may have temporarily boosted service jobs. Totally agree with that. And that's hard to seasonally adjust, by the way. Hard to seasonally adjust an election because it does not happen every year, right? That's worth knowing. That's something I've been talking about too. So, how do you seasonally adjust for election workers? I haven't figured that out yet. Okay. Let's see here. What else? Equity seem to be selectively trading on a potential growth positive impacts of Trump and an interpretation of what Trump might mean. Yes. And then ISM manufacturing and Chicago business barometer deeper in contraction. Oh, another one too was the Challenger jobs report. Challenger jobs report, most negative since 2009. Yeah, interesting. And then of course valuations they mentioned. Valuations are a poor reason in isolation to turn bearish, as they don't matter until there's a negative catalyst, but they do give an indication of how far the correction could run. Exactly. And the catalyst could be anything. The catalyst could just be one red day. This is the downside. Anyway, okay. Because usually what happens is once you get a red day in markets, you can kind of accelerate the red just because people start, profit taking basically. Somebody writes, what is this? Is Stormy Daniels an election worker? Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, very well. So what else is going on here? We got the Qs down about 5 basis points. It's a little bit of a chill day. Tesla, things are mostly consolidated, it appears. Yeah, Tesla does have a resistance line here at 347. This is a pretty tough. It was very tough for Tesla to get through yesterday. Excuse me, I'm choking on myself. So we'll see what happens today. Phase another bleed out over here. I think this actually only gets worse if you're in a profit-taking environment or some kind of environment where, things, even if things meaningfully sell off on higher valuation plays, I think Phase unfortunately gets taken down with him. The Qs, yeah, you're trying to move here on the Qs. You're sitting about, what we got here, 2 basis points negative. So, I mean, that's not terribly negative. Palantir percent. I mean, this is a tiny little nominal give back so far. Things aren't really moving that much. Oh, what are yields doing? Let's take a peek at that. So we talked about Home Depot. Oh, wow. The 10-year yield's actually up quite a bit. How's that up so much? 5 basis points. Good Lord. Yelp is up. Dutch Bros, Upstart corrects a little bit, down about 8%. I mean, that 10% is a correction, but that's a pretty good hit there. 8%, pretty dang close. What are some of the other big movers here? Let's see here. Trump Media Group, Upstart, SolarEdge, Root, Sunrun, Enphase, all these down 4% roughly or more. On the upside, you still have Shopify honestly holding, consolidating a bit. The whole day so far just looks like a consolidation, but pretty good. Pretty good. All right, what do you got here? Ooh, Bitcoin coming back. Let's go to 30 minutes. So you're getting a little bit of a floor, which is nice. And Home Depot stays positive. Wow, look at that. MicroStrategy just went positive as well. This is very interesting. Let's see. Where did we run to yesterday? Okay, so the cap, yesterday we closed at 351. So watch the 351-ish level, and then you start getting stretchy. That might be a more desirable entry if you were looking at hedging against some potential downside there. Yeah. Oh. Somebody says, what do we got here? Alpha Report email is excellent. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Then, yeah, we're live on YouTube on the Meet Kevin live channel. Meet Kevin again. Meta. Ooh, nice fat candlestick on Meta. Yeah, nice little run there. That's probably contributing to why the index is actually positive right now by about 2 basis points. Wow, Enphase is going into the 50s. Holy smokes. Super Micro. Home Depot just lost the lead. And Q's still barely positive. Wow. Wow, wee wah. All right. I got to get over to the course member live stream and make another cup of coffee, and then we'll go live within the next 5 or 10 here, and we'll get to do some discussing and talking and all the good things that we always do in terms of analysis, so whether it's real estate analysis or stock analysis. So I look forward to seeing you there. Remember, folks, if you have not gotten yet your alpha report for today, you can get it at ehack.com. But if you want to always make sure you get it in your inbox, because I won't be posting it for much longer on ehack.com, make sure you go to meetkevin.com/alpha. No plans to monetize it at this point. And I look forward to you being a part of it. I just really want to give you value at the beginning of the day. Every day I want you to be able to basically wake up, as early as like 15, 20 minutes before the bell and go, okay, all right, here's some things to pay attention to. Obviously, it's not personalized financial advice. I don't know your situation. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. We'll see y'all in the next one, all right? Goodbye and good luck.